happening here, Richard?
You know.
All right. All right. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Almost ready for a weekend. Maybe we're not so excited though. I hear, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we're not so excited about that. But still, happy Friday. Almost to the weekend. First weekend. No, actually it's not true. Second weekend in January. Second weekend of the new year. All right. So today's quote I have is from Benedict Cumberbatch, and he said, "The further you get away from yourself, the more challenging it is. Not to be in your comfort zone is great fun." And yes, I know this is according to him, but this mirrors a lot of things I've said before, so I'll read it one more time. The further you get away from yourself, the more challenging it is. Not to be in your comfort zone is great fun. Right? So, we talk about if we just stay where we're comfortable, right? Yes, we're comfortable. That's where we feel confident. That's where we feel things are good. But that's also when it's easy, right? And that's why it's comfortable, right? And so the further we get, right, outside of that zone, right, what we can't quite reach and what we keep reaching a little bit further for, right, that is going to be challenging, right? And it is going to be hard, okay, but it can also be fun, right? The rewards are bigger. You kind of look at that reward and that risk, right? If we just stay in our comfort zone, right, there is not very much risk, but there's also not very much reward, right? We're not really risking anything in terms of that challenge. But if we just step a little further out of that comfort zone, right, there's a little bit of risk, and then there's also some reward, right? And so that further we can step outside of our comfort zone, right, we're going to get more reward the further we're willing to go, right? And of course, it's always up to us, right? We can choose how far we want to go out of that comfort zone, right? Like I know I probably asked you to go out of your comfort zone today, right, Marvin? Right? Yeah, just a little, right? And I knew that was a little bit out of your comfort zone, a little bit, right? But next time, instead of just taking one step out of your zone, right, maybe we can take a couple steps, right? But the reward, right, the reward you're going to get from that is greater. So, again, I'm so appreciative that you let me do that work with you today. So, I was just thinking about the work I did with you, and I know that there's work we've done with others of you here as well. So, just keeping that in mind, think about your comfort zone, and once in a while, to get yourself out of it, right? That's where our reward is, and that's where there's risk. But it can be fun, according to Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch. All right. So for today, it will be helpful for you to have a table in front of you, as well as a washcloth. You may want to have a water bottle. The washcloth is just going to help you slide your hands on the table when we get to those exercises. That's for the second half of today. Remember that, not like that, sir. Also remember that all the exercises we do, all the movements we do, they're always just recommendations, okay, and suggestions, so you can modify and adapt it and choose that comfort zone, right? If it's just a little out of your comfort zone, you can choose whether or not you want to go out there or whether or not you want to just stay in your comfort zone. All right, so as I go through those exercises, just choose that area that you want to be in for yourself today. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so our first exercise, I'm going to make sure my feet are flat on the ground. I'm going to keep my core nice, Carol. Okay, keep myself straight up, use my back muscles. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in this position. In and out. Breathe in and out. One more. Out. All right, the first exercise is our neck extension and flexion. So up towards the ceiling and down sorry, down towards the floor. Your chin is already there. You can't do anything about that. I'm glad you guys knew what I meant. It is Friday after all. I'd like to say that it's only a Friday thing where I get my words mixed up, but really, it's sunny day. Just a couple more. Our next neck exercise is side to side. So right ear to right shoulder and left ear to left shoulder. Make sure you check your posture. Make sure you have your straight back. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Just a couple more. Right. Next, we're going to go ahead and move into our shoulder rolls. Right. One at a time is fine, right? One at a time is fine, Richard. And Marvin, too, if you want to, and Bob, you can do this too, if you want to support your affected, if you want to put your hand underneath your elbow, and then you can push, right, and get a little more movement out of your elbow as you do it. You're just going to push it up, Marvin. Going to push up and back. Yeah. Do you feel a little more movement in both shoulders then? And if you can, try and roll your shoulders in the other direction. If not, just keep going the same direction, Carol. I know.
I can use my left and my right.
Okay. And if it's just in the same direction, that's fine too. Alright, go ahead and let that relax. Check your posture. I have a tendency to slouch afterwards, so I have to remind myself, right, to keep my core engaged, keep my back straight. Next, we'll move into our arms. Alright, so we'll start with our shoulder joint and then move down to the rest of the joints of our arm. So our shoulders, right, we're just going to work on flexion. Alright, so just as high as you can reach. Just back and forth, up and down. Alright, and even if we're only able to lift them just in front of you, you can always add extra work by pretending that you're pushing something up into the ceiling, and then you're pushing something down on your lap. Right? Oh, great job, Marvin. I see that extra effort. I see that you're pushing against yourself. I can see that extra effort, for sure. Nice job. You're looking good. Yep, you too, Richard. Just a couple more. Okay, you can let that relax. All right, move into our elbows now. All right, so go ahead and do curl. You can always square. Okay, so, right, you can either just go through the motion, right, just doing the curl. If you want to make your muscles work a little harder, then you're just going to squeeze towards your chest and pretend like maybe you're giving a big pillow a really giant hug, right? And you're just squeezing really hard in here. Okay. You can also really squeeze down into your lap. Okay. So if you want to have just that extra effort, you're just going to squeeze into you like you're squishing something, and then you're squishing it in your lap. Maybe it's like a big giant gummy bear. Right? Like you can picture like you're squeezing and getting a really giant gummy bear, and then you can pretend like you're really squishing one on your lap. But maybe not making a big mess. They should be able to give a little. They do melt in the sun though. That's a mess. That's a mistake you only make once, is leaving a bag of gummy bears in a hot car in the summer. Yeah, just once. Only had to do that once. My car was never the same after. One more. Okay, go ahead and let that relax. Okay, next we'll go into our wrist. Okay, so wrist flexion, extension. Right, just whatever movement you can. Right, you can also put your hands together. That's fine too, Marvin. Whatever movement you have in your wrist. Just a couple more. Go ahead and let that relax. Next we'll do finger opposition. Pinch each of your fingers to your thumb. Right. If you can, you want to kind of squeeze together. Right, but if you can just get the opposition, that's fine. Right, so just that movement. move your ankle in a circle. If you could only do one of those movements, you could do your ankle circle and then do your whole leg. All right, I know it takes a lot of concentration to do both of those motions at the same time. Yeah, so if you just want to do the ankle and keep your leg up, and then do the whole leg. Yeah, you could even do it bent, Morgan. Right, even bent is fine. Okay. Okay. Alright, you can go ahead and give that a second. We're going to do the same leg, but we have to go in circles in the other direction. Alright, when you're ready, go ahead and bring your right leg up and go in the opposite direction you were going before. Okay, go ahead and let that relax. Now we'll do it with our left leg. Okay, so left leg out. And start those circles with your left leg. So if you wanted to push outside of your comfort zone, you would go slow. Okay? Or you could do both, but you could also go in a bigger circle, right? The size of the circle is going to be what pushes you out of your comfort zone, and the speed. So if you do a small circle, but pretty fast, you're still going to work on your strength, right? And you're still going to work on your endurance. But if you want to go out of your comfort zone, a bigger circle and slower is what's really going to push those muscles to get stronger throughout the whole motion. Alright, so you can kind of choose how far out of your comfort zone you want to try. Alright, go ahead and give it a second. Alright. I almost forgot, Carol. I thought we were done, but no, we still have to do that leg in the other direction. So, alright, when you're ready. Alright. Same leg, left leg, but go in a circle in the other direction. Go ahead and let that relax. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and reset, although I guess it's a little silly because the rest of it we're going to do. Let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Alright, so breathe in, and out, and in, and out. One more, in, and out. Alright. Alright, so let's do heel raises today. So you're going to have your feet flat on the ground, and you're going to push on your toes and lift up your heels. Right? So if these are my toes, right, I'm just going to push on my toes and just make my heels come up off the floor. keep our eyes on our thumb as we move our thumb in a circle, but keep your head still. Okay, so go ahead and bring up your thumb and make a circle with your thumb. As with most of our exercises, you want to try and keep your motion slow and controlled, because slowing down really forces our muscles to work through the motion. And I see that you guys are already making the biggest circle you can. Yeah. Go ahead and close your eyes and give your eyes a break. Let your hand relax. Alright, so we will do circles again. This time we'll move our thumb in the other direction. So if you're making a clockwise circle, you'll go counterclockwise this time. Vice versa. If you need a longer break for your eyes, that's fine. If you're ready, go ahead and put in your thumb, open your eyes, and start that circle in the other direction. Our next eye exercise is holding our thumb still in front of us, and we are going to keep our eyes on our thumb, but we will move our head side to side. When you're ready, open your eyes, and keep your eyes on your thumb as you move your head side to side. Go ahead and close your eyes, let your hand relax. The last vision eye exercise is, again, to hold our thumb in front of us. Keep our eyes on our thumb, but we'll move our head up and down. Okay, so when you're ready, put your thumb up, keep your eyes on your thumb, and move your head up and down while keeping your eyes looking at your thumb. Go ahead and close your eyes and let your hand relax. That was our last eye exercise. All right, now we'll work on our mouth exercises. Right. So usually we start our mouth exercises by massaging our cheeks. In our jaw, which goes all the way up to or right by the bottom of our ears. Right. Making you yawn already, girl? Your body's like, hey, I know what's coming next, the yawns. All right. Okay. Our first, as Carol is already doing for us, our first mouth exercise is to open your mouth as wide as you can. So I give the instructions of trying to slow it down because we want to work on our muscles for our mouth to, if we want to make them stronger, right, we have to go slower, just like we did for the rest of our exercises for the rest of our body, just because that encourages the muscles to work through the entire range and not just for the easy parts, right? All right, so it feels weird, it feels awkward, right? Just slow down though. Yeah, so try to picture like you're doing like an in-person slow motion yawn. Which I know leads to like real yawns, but it's okay. And if it's hard to slow down the yawn, you can always, not the yawn, just kidding. If it's hard to slow down making an open mouth, you can just hold it like halfway up to the full mouth, right? So instead of just going to a full mouth, if you go about halfway, and then kind of hold it there. Did that make sense? So if you can't just slow through the whole movement, just kind of hold it halfway and then go to all, and then halfway and then to closed, right? So that's still working on your muscles, that's still slowing it down and working those mouth muscles. Yeah. How many yawns is that, Carol? All right. Before I lose Carol because we're yawning too much. Exercise is smiling really big, right? So same idea as our open mouth. Smile real big. Okay. So try to pause it in the middle before you get to the full smile, right? So does that kind of make sense, Marvin? Okay. That makes sense, Bob? Yeah. So just kind of hold it in the middle, and then all the way, middle, and then rest. Definitely makes you really aware of those muscles, right? And you're feeling them as you tighten them. It should make you aware when you're holding it, kind of that halfway one, right? The here, it should feel really kind of weird, right? Because we're not used to holding our muscles there. So that's why we're strengthening when we hold it there. So now you're like, yeah, I can feel it. That's why. I know I can feel it here and it feels weird. Okay, maybe just one more. No, we're done with the yawn one. Okay, go ahead, we can stop our smile real big. Let's go ahead and do the smile to a pucker. So with this one, just try to do it slowly, right? So you're gonna go from a smile to fish lips. Okay, smile and into fish lips. right, next we'll go ahead and do lip smacks. All right, so you're gonna pull your lips together and then suck in and open up your jaws. So. Yep, there you go, Marvin. All right, next we have our tongue exercise. So you'll touch the corner of your mouth to the other corner of your mouth with your tongue. So if you can, try to do it slowly instead of just. And again, so that slowly is where that strengthening and that endurance comes from. Okay, now we'll do our tongue trying to reach our nose and then try to touch our chin. Do you guys know anyone who can actually touch their nose with their tongue? I don't. I know those are people.
The dog, of course.
Well, okay, let me rephrase. If you know a human, it's true, I didn't phrase it that way. Okay, one more exercise for our mouth. We're going to do a frown and then a swallow. Right. A frown and swallow. Okay, all right, that is the end of the first half. All right, so now we'll move on to our upper body exercises. So our upper body exercises and weight bearing. So this is why you guys here have your top. Bob. Oh, you too, Carol. So I'll give you guys some time to go ahead and scoop. What we're doing is we're really stretching our scapula, right, our shoulder blade. It's going to try, when we move our scapula with some slow rhythmic movement, it helps loosen up the rest of the arm, right? So that's a piece of what we're doing now. So The towel is to help us slide. So you're going to put probably your affected hand on the towel, and then put your other one on top of that. And we're going to reach away. Okay. So as you can kind of tell, you want to reach away from you. You don't want to keep it here. So see how my back is straight right now? You want to go further so that you're leaning more over. Here, I'll go to the side so you guys can see me better. So try to slide a little bit more forward if you can, Marvin. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's it, Richard. Yeah, that looks good, Bob. Alright. So just making kind of a W, or just back and forth. From away and then closer to you. So that rhythmic motion is very calming to your muscles and can help loosen up where you might be tight in your shoulder. And sometimes it can also help loosen up further down the arm. It just depends on how long you really do it. Ideally, you want to use them together if you can. And it's okay, Carol, you can only make a little, that's fine. Good job, Marvin. Good job, Richard. Yeah, looks good, Bob. Yeah, and feel free to open up your tail as much as you need to, Marvin. Yeah, if you need to open it up all the way, that's fine. Okay. All right, so after going, you want to reach out a little bit away from you, right? So I'm not here, I'm out just a little. And we're still going to be on our towel, but this time go side to side. And Carol, just whatever range you've got is fine. And if you just have a little bit in front of you, and you could really only go like shoulder width to shoulder width, that's fine. Because we're thinking about my quote for today, right? This is probably a little bit out of your comfort zone. You guys haven't really done this before, right? Is this a little bit out of your comfort zone? Maybe. Go ahead and let that relax. Alright, so next, let's go ahead and do, alright, it's a funny looking movement. And I'll try to describe how you can do it without, if you need to assist your other arm. So you want to keep your elbows, right, and kind of pretend like they're glued at your sides, right, and then I think so like, Marvin and Bob, you probably just have to do one arm at a time, which is perfectly fine. So let me just show you with one arm. Right, so I'm going to go through my other, and I'm just going to, almost like I'm opening a door. So just do one arm at a time, Marvin, and then I'll show you how to help your other arm. Oh yeah, no, that's how. Yeah, with your other arm, and then just make sure you do it with your other arm too. Right? So Bob, you have your elbow next to your side. Yep. Right, and then keep your elbow pointing out like you're going to shake someone's hand. Okay, or sorry, your hand pointing out like you're going to shake somebody's hand. Right, and then just like you're swinging a door. There you go. That's it, Bob. on your other arm, okay, your elbow, and then you're just going to. You don't need to assist, right? Just the same motion with your other hand. Great. All right. Those of you who are out there, I'll be. Hard to describe. So get your elbow up here. Well, that's motion. That's motion. There you go. That's motion. Feels different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the exercise we want. And it's very small.
Okay.
It's a very small one. That's as far as I can go. I can't make it very far either. So that's all the child knows. Yeah, the rest of you guys can go and relax. Sorry. Okay. Alright, so thanks for being patient, all of you who are out there in virtual, watching live. I just needed to get up and I had to do a quick assist. Alright, let's go ahead and do our circles. This one's probably easiest to do with, so just go ahead and just clasp, or you can hold your hands on the towel. Alright, so go ahead and put your hands on the towel in front of you. Okay, go ahead and scoot up to the table though, Richard. There we go. Alright, and you're just going to slide it in a circle. So the difference between this one and the first one we did is we were reaching before, right? But this one we're just sitting upright and just keeping a circle in front of us. If you can just make a small circle, that's fine. And make your circle a little bit bigger. Right, so yeah, I mentioned it too. Choose how far out of your comfort zone you want to make. And it's going to be your bigger circle. So just a few more in this direction, and then we'll make our circle going the other direction. You guys know whenever we make circles, we always have to go the other direction, right? Carol's like, I wish you would just forget. Just go one way. But then we'd be all lopsided, Carol. Alright, then go ahead and switch and make that circle the other way. Okay, so switch your circle. I'm making a counterclockwise circle now. But if you're going counterclockwise first, then you'll be going clockwise now. So this exercise is helping us with our shoulders, right? With our scapula, with our shoulder blades. It's also helping to get a little movement as well as do some rhythmic protraction as well. Just a couple more. Go ahead and let that relax. All right. we're putting our weight into our elbows. Okay. And what we're doing is, when we put our weight in there, our joints are sending a message to our brain that tells our brain that where it is, what it's doing. So when we put that weight into our elbows, it's helping get that message between our joints, our muscles, and our brain, and helping with that connection. Okay, so just so you understand kind of why we're doing this exercise. Right, I'll show you a little bit from the side, so it's a little easier. Right. So the towel is really there because the table's hard and our elbows are bony. So you really want to just get your elbows out, and you want to lean forward as far as you can on your elbows. Ideally, you want a straight line between your elbow and your shoulder, right? But I know that's kind of hard to do when you're seated. So as long as you get your elbows on the table and you just lean forward as far as you can. Okay. If that's all that you can do, then that's fine. Right? So you just want to get your elbows on and just lean. Right. If you feel stable enough just to lift up, right? So just to stand up a little and just push on the table. Okay, that would be when you would challenge yourself. But if you feel comfortable just leaning, that's fine too. Go ahead and sit back and relax. Okay. So the next one, the next exercise is, well, you might want that. Okay. The next exercise you have is to use your affected hand, and you're going to position it. And if you want to put the towel just so it slides easier, that's up to you. But your weaker hand or your affected one, you just want to push, right? But you want to keep your shoulder down. Okay? So if you just want to assist, right, in pushing it, that's fine. I don't have anything for you to push. And you've got a water bottle there, Richard?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, right, we just want to do the motion. Okay. And then you can reset it. Okay. Yeah, so the main thing we're working on here is just establishing the movement, right? So even if you aren't able to do a lot of that movement without the assist, we just really want to get that movement and that motion in the joints to our arm. All right. Yeah, if you feel comfortable, you can also bring it back. Okay, so and similarly to how we do it during stretches, right? You want to visualize, right, and think about that movement, right? That movement through your elbows That movement through your shoulder, right? That movement through your wrist. You're really just visualizing that movement like we do in the morning. All right, after side to side, now you're going to push away from you. So now it's just pushing it away from you. And if you want to switch it back and pull it back towards you. Or you can always just reset and just go forward, or go push it away. Just a couple more. And after this, I really just have one more exercise and a stretch for us. Alright, go ahead and let that relax. Alright, so the last exercise we have before our stretch is basically a table push-up. So I know that we can just lean forward instead of using our core muscles and our back muscles, right? We can do this. But instead of using our core and our back, right, you really want to try and use our arm muscles to do that. So we're going to lean forward, but then use your arms, okay, to push up and bring your chest back up. Right? So instead of me using my abdomen muscles and my back muscles, I'm really trying to just push. Right? Does that make sense? So here, and then push. Okay. So I'm really using my arm muscles to push myself to standing instead of using my abdomen, right? So I don't want to use those. Try not to use those, use these. Right. Okay. Let me try again, Marvin. I confused you. So yeah, we're just here, and then just pushing with our arms. It's hard to tell, right? I'm just pushing with my arms here.
Oh, okay.
Have a good weekend, Louis. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Yeah. Just a couple more. Alright, go ahead and sit up and relax. Alright, so the last one is just a stretch for our wrists. Alright, so we're just going to stretch our wrists as far as we can. Just trying to give it a nice stretch. right. Have a good weekend, Bob. Bye. Bye, Stephanie. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week. Yep. All right. Go ahead and let that relax. Take a couple deep breaths. That's it for today.
I should have done this 20 years ago.
And in. And out. Alright. Alright. So, thank you so much. Hopefully some of those exercises felt a little different and maybe felt a little good. At least different, right? Something different and maybe not unusual, but different. So, thank you. Thank you so much for participating and being with me here today. I just said thank you for participating and being here with me today. And thank you to everyone who's watching live out there in Facebook land. Thank you for participating. Have a great weekend. And we will still continue stretching and mindfulness at 10 o'clock. Of course, our rehabilitative strengthening and endurance exercises in the afternoons at 1. All right. Have a happy weekend, everyone. Thank you for being here.
I should have been a lot easier.